Hi guys, Lauren here. Okay, in this video I want to talk about raising your prices. Specifically, there's three of the most common myths that I hear around raising your prices. And whenever a coach wants to raise your prices, these are the three things. I call this kind of mind trash that comes up when you want to raise your rates. So let's debunk these. I want to talk about these three myths, why they're not true, and tell you what to do instead so that you can confidently raise your rates right now and still sign clients at your new price points, okay? So if this is your first time in my world, if this is our first time meeting, my name is Lauren. I'm a business mentor for online coaches who have stories to tell and want to make a bigger and better impact in the world. So, all right, so raising your prices, right? So I remember, my first year in my coaching business, I raised my rates three times within the first year. And every single time I raised my price, it always came right before a really big growth period in my business, right? I would get that inkling and that feeling that I was done charging my old price. I was starting to outgrow it. I was starting to feel like I deserved to get compensated more for my work because I always gave so much to my clients. I always wanted to over deliver. And every single time before I took the jump and raised my prices, I always just got that pretty strong gut feeling, that intuitive guidance, I guess, that little gut feeling where it told me like, Lauren, now's the time to raise your prices. You can do it. Like I had that desire, but the problem was every single time I wanted to raise my prices, the first thing that came up in my head was, you can't do that because you're going to have a harder time signing clients, right? Or, if you're having a hard time signing clients at this price point, what makes you think they're going to pay, double that or triple that or whatever, right? So I had this like little story that as soon as I raised my prices, it would be harder to get clients. And what really changed it for me and enabled me to raise my prices three times in the first year, and then two times the year following, and then year three, I don't remember how many times I raised them. In my career total, I've raised my prices probably at least 6 times, I would say, across between our group programs, my one-to-one, and any other offers I've done in the past. I've always raised my prices, especially my higher level offerings. So here's what really helped me, and here's what I believe will serve you really well. And I have notes so I don't forget because this is super important. So, okay, here were the three beliefs that I had to switch, right? 3 beliefs you have to switch in order for you to raise your prices and then keep signing clients at your new price point, okay? First belief that needs to shift is the belief that if you raise your prices, you have to give more. Right? This is one, I would say this is the biggest one that I hear from my clients, and this was the biggest one for me that I had to overcome. So just because you raise your prices does not mean you have to find all this extra crap to put into your programs. Or it does not mean that people are going to magically expect you to, have double the number of modules in your program, or your program should be, double the length that it is right now. No, okay? You don't have to give more to justify raising your price, okay? That's the myth number 1. You do not have to give more. Oftentimes, actually, what I've found is sometimes you can do the opposite. Sometimes you actually can remove some things from your offerings and simplify it even more so, and still charge higher rates, because people don't care about the number of modules they get. They care about what is the end result. What is the end result? What's the end result? Right? That's what they care about, okay? They don't care if it takes them 8 calls with you to get there, or 3 calls, or 14 modules, or 18 modules. That's not what's important. What's important is you clearly articulating to your ideal client that you can help them get the result that they want to get. That's it. So that's the first one. The second myth around raising your price is that people will just expect more, right? So this goes hand in hand with the first thing I said. So just because you raise your prices does not mean you're going to all of a sudden get these types of clients that just expect the world of you, or that, hold you to these way higher standards or expectations. That's not true. You get to set the standards, you get to set the expectations at every single price point in your offerings, right? It's up to you. People will expect the standard that you set. That sounded so cheesy. Oh my God. That sounded like, I didn't mean to say that. Anyway, but it's true. People will expect the standards that you set for yourself, right? So there's that. And then the third myth around raising your price is, oh, I love this one. Just because you raise your prices or you want to raise your prices does not mean that you need more proof or that you need more validation or more social proof or more testimonials or more results. There's no set number of results or testimonials or social proof that you need to justify raising your prices, period. The biggest proof of all, and this is a topic that comes up a lot with my clients, is you are the proof, right? So as a coach, you are teaching something that you've done yourself, right? You have experienced the power of it. You've experienced the value of it. You are a walking, living, breathing proof of the transformation that's possible when you do your work, when you do your own work, right? So this idea that you need to have more social proof or better testimonials before you raise your prices is so far off from true that it's crazy. You are the biggest proof of all. That's a huge reason as to why people are going to pay you over and over and over again. It's you first. They have to see that you are walking your talk, first of all. And then secondary is they get curious about, what do your clients experience, right? Of course, that's secondary, right? So what's most important when raising your prices is you've got to just get behind your price and make sure that you are charging something that makes you feel confident going out and talking about it, right? I will share this with you. I will wrap up with this. So not long ago, maybe a year and a half ago, so a couple years into my coaching business, I got the nudge to kind of raise my prices. And what happened was I wanted to raise my prices, but it was like I instantly thought, oh, I'll wait until I have, this many more clients or this many more people in this program. And I started kind of trying to set these, arbitrary numbers around the time frame that I could raise my prices. And what happened was I kept putting it off out of fear. And I became so unaligned with my price that I almost ended up resenting my work because I felt for a long time like I wasn't getting compensated appropriately for my work. I felt like I wasn't getting compensated enough for how much I always over-delivered for my clients. So that created this nasty energy of resentment, and it just wasn't a good energy to be in. And I knew that I wanted to charge more, but I wasn't doing it out of fear, right? I wasn't doing it out of fear that everything would fail and everything would fall apart and clients wouldn't come. And what happened when I did raise my price, I will never forget this, when I actually doubled my one-to-one rates. I will not forget this. I doubled my one-to-one rates, and signing clients at my new rate literally became easier than it ever was at my old rate. And it wasn't because my marketing all of a sudden was a million times better, or I had a bigger audience or a bigger email list, or it wasn't any of that. Signing clients became easier because I, all of a sudden, was aligned with my price. I felt super confident in my new price point. So I conveyed that confidence in my marketing, in my sales. And people felt that, and people bought. So it is that simple when it comes to pricing. You've simply got to be confident, aligned, and excited about whatever it is that you are charging for, and people will react based on how you feel around your prices. So that's why whenever I'm talking about pricing with my clients, it's never a conversation of what is your competition charge, right? What do these people over here charge for their program that's similar, right? I never talk about that. Instead, what I talk about is, let's find a price point for you that makes you feel like it is worth it, right? Your work, your program, the time that you put in with your clients. Let's find a price that makes you feel like it's worth it, and a price that makes you excited to show up and talk about it and sell it, right? Because when I was in that period of feeling like my prices were too low, it was like pulling teeth to show up and promote it and talk about it, because I just deep down felt like I wasn't charging enough. And as soon as I raised those prices, and yes, it was scary. Yes, the fear was kind of still there, but I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I know I can get paid this, but I'm still scared. I want to do it. Let's just see how it goes. And I did it, raised my prices. And all of a sudden it was like a confidence switch in me where I could show up online. I could show up on social media, talk about it. talk about the offer and it was like, oh, this is so much easier because now I feel like it's worth it. Now I feel like if I sign a client at this price point, it's worth it for me. I'm excited to work with somebody at this price point, right? And that's so important as a coach. We don't want you to get to the point where you're resenting your work. We don't want you to get to the point where you're burnt out, right? Which a lot of coaches end up in that place. And I believe a big part of that is because they're undercharging. They're undercharging and over-delivering, right? So you deserve to get paid the high price points that you want to get paid. You deserve to have those clients. You deserve to charge what you want to charge. And you have permission to raise your rates at any point if it's what feels right for you. You don't need to look for any external checklist or anything that you have to tick off before raising your prices. If you get the gut feeling, do it, raise it, and just listen to your gut. That's what I have to say on that. So if this helped you, I hope it does. And if you want more help with growing your coaching business, and specifically you are drawn to what we do over here, we grow our coaching businesses through storytelling and by telling our stories, just like I told you one here. If you want to grow your coaching business without sending cold messages to people, without doing cold outreach, without chasing clients, and you'd rather have more clients coming to you, that's exactly what I walk my clients through. And that's what we do inside of our Stories That Sell coaching program. So if you'd like more info on that, you can message me. Otherwise, you can actually click the link somewhere in this video to see a bunch of results and case studies that my clients have gone through and gotten by being in the program. And you can book a call with us to see if the program is a fit. And we would love to have you. I would love to support you in your journey, growing your coaching business and sharing your stories and making a bigger and better impact in this world. So I will talk to you very soon. See you in the next video. Bye.